Yeah, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another edition of Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales with yours truly, Uncle Doug's. Big love to everybody that already watched episodes 1 and 2. And thank you to everybody that subscribed to the channel and you've been watching my video diaries, the Run Come Follow Uncle Doug stuff. Honestly, I love you lot to the bone, man. Yeah, the support and the comments, they're wicked, man, wicked. Thank you. Over 1,000 subscribers in the first couple of weeks, so yeah, sick, thank you. So here we are, episode 3, Rave Diaries and Tower Block Tales. I've decided today that we're going to take it all the way back to 1991. So today we're going to be briefly talking about the Pure organisation, which is these guys here. That's one of my memberships that I didn't send off. That's the membership that I did send off, that I ended up with having an actual membership for. That's valid until October the 31st, 1992, that one there. That's got my name and address on the back as well. Look. You see that there? Yeah, so that one ran out in 1992. But here, look, I've got there's another membership there. But so this ticket here, that's for that one there, look, that's Dance 93. That was the last one of these that I went to. We'll talk about that on another day. This ticket here is for Dance 92, which was the same event, but the year before. We'll talk about that another day. But the one we're going to talk about today is this one here, yeah? Dance 91 at the Brighton Centre. I think it's the 23rd of November. Yeah, 23rd of November, 1991, 9 o'clock till 7 o'clock a.m. Tickets £22 in advance, plus 10% booking fee. So, the Pure organisation, I don't really know a lot about them. I don't know them as far as I know, and the story I'm going to tell, I'll definitely never be able to find the guy that I actually spoke to and we dealt with in this occasion. But anyway, I started raving earlier in the year. Started going to every event that I could afford or get to. I wasn't even old enough to drive back then. I wasn't 17 until the January of 1992. So me and my cousin Daniel, we was out a lot in them days, and he was the driver. Luckily, he had a car. He was a bit older than me. He had a blue Escort, and I remember that it was a Y reg, and the number plate was CFL something Y, dark blue. Yeah, and that car got us everywhere for the first year or two of the race. So anyway, I think Pure Organisation have been running these dance events since 1989. I'm sure the first one was Dance 89. I know they did Pickett's Lock in North London. I think they did Norwich as well, but they was a big promoter at the time. But yeah, behind Dance 91, 2, 3, whatever, were the Pure Organisation. So I saw an advert and they was asking for people that wanted to help with promotional stuff for an event coming up. So contacted the office and spoke to my cousin, and we went down to this office. Now we're going to be part of the promotions team. Now I was 16 at the time, so naive, absolutely clueless about life, but especially about rave. So anyway, I remember we went to this house in North London. It was in a back street in North London. Quite a nice house. Now, naively again, I assumed that because we were going to their office, we'd be going to an office block. So we turned up at his house. Someone opens the door, and I remember going in there, and there was just a bit of hustle bustle, a few people about, a couple of computers, maybe a fax machine, you know, like it was 1991, so it was very primitive, and obviously it was a rave promotion. So I just remember there being a lot of boxes of flyers, tickets on the table, and like I say, a lot of coming and going, a lot of people moving about in the room and around this house, and it just seemed well exciting, so exciting. But our job was going to be, we were going to give flyers out, weren't we? And in return for giving flyers out, we'd get free entry to the next event, which was Dance 91 at the Brighton Centre. So I'd never, listen, for the first big chunk of my raving career, I bought tickets and I queued up, and I was happy. I was proud to be a raver. I wanted to be a DJ, but I loved being a raver, and I loved buying tickets, and I loved the buzz of standing in the queue and meeting people and all of that. So it wasn't like a big deal for me to get a free entry, but it was a nice thing. But it was more the fact that I felt we were part of this team. We was part of the promotions team for this event. It was my first sort of foot in the door almost. So they gave us two big boxes of flyers, and our instructions were to fly out wherever we rave and our local clubs. So we would have flyed Berwick Manor, we would have flyed probably 4 races, Labyrinth. We may have flyed Grange Farm as well in Cheekwell. I don't know. We would have flyed wherever was local and wherever we would have gone. We didn't, stupidly, we never threw away one flyer. We gave out every flyer and took it serious. And do you know what? It was wicked. It was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. I've been coming out of raves and being given flyers. And now I'm giving the flyer. And it was a good feeling, I'm not going to lie. It felt like you was part of this thing. You know what I mean? You was helping to make this thing be a thing. You was helping to make this thing be bigger. And you was helping to spread the word. And, you know how we felt. You was a lot of the same. I know that. So we give out all the flyers. And basically what we were told was, so when we get down to the Brighton Centre, instead of going in round the front doors where the Ravers going, if we go around to the back to the box office, to the ticket office, give our names in, we'll get these guest passes, and in we go, or so we thought. Anyway, so you know what's coming already, don't you? We go down there, we park the car up in a normal parking space, which was opposite the old pier, you know, the burnt pier in Brighton. There's a car park dead opposite there with 2 slopes that go down, that go into the car park, and we used to park on that slope. It's double yellow lines now, so don't do it now, but we used to do that. Walked down to the Brighton Centre, walked round to the box office. We was early, wasn't open, so we went on the pier, probably went on the ghost train, had some fun. Got stories about Brighton Pier and Brighton Beach after raves as well for another day. But yeah, back to the box office. Now it's open, so we walk up and give our names, and the lady doesn't know what we're talking about. So we tell her to check, and she checks, and she still doesn't know what we're talking about. So, like, this is 1991. I'm 16, my cousin would have been 19. We didn't have mobile phones. We got numbers. Back then, you had numbers in a book or numbers written on bits of paper. You know, it was a completely different era. We went to the phone box around the corner, and we're trying to find this guy. I don't know if he was the promoter. I don't know if he just helped. I don't know this guy. The guy that opened the door to us in the house and gave us the box of flyers and gave us all the spiel. To this day, I don't know who he was. I'll probably never know who he was. But we've got his phone number and we're ringing off this phone. And obviously, he's not answering the phone, is he? Of course he's not. So now we're in Brighton. The doors are opening. The queue's out the front massive. We wanted to go to this rave because it looks sick. And, you know, we're in Brighton now, innit? What are we going to do? So we actually bought 2 tickets from the same lady. From the same lady at the box office who we'd been trying to convince that we was on this guest list. Like, we're part of the staff, we're on the guest list. We've been trying to convince her for ages. Now we're buying 2 tickets, like 2 complete donuts. Anyway, we buy the tickets, we walk back round to the front, we queue up, we get in. And the Brighton Centre, I don't know if you know the Brighton Centre, but they use it for a lot of like party political conferences, and it's used for all sorts of things. But the main hall is a big conference hall. It's massive. Imagine like a gymnasium, but a lot bigger. That's what it's like there. But outside it was all very corporate. You know, when we were walking in and out the venue, I remember there was sort of stairs up and down towards the toilets and bits and bobs. And there was all like paperwork for the council and forthcoming meetings and stuff like that. And there's all us lot just sitting there smoking out of our nuts on the stairs, talking rubbish to each other at a rave, you know what I mean? So it was quite surreal, but it was a mad big venue. And it was a wicked night. Listen, we paid for the tickets, we got in there, it was great. I don't even care. It was great. And I remember they had like this wall of light, which was mad lights. It was this thing that they sort of boasted, 100k turbo, Martin F1, whatever it's called, F2 sound system. Well, they had all of that. It was all on the flyer. And from what I remember, the sound was sick, the lighting was sick, production was sick, the music was sick. Great night. They had an indoor fairground, I remember. It had a ride, a bit like the waltzer, but it was like teacup, you know, like a teacup ride, but a bit faster. It was very fast. They had all that, and it was all indoor. There was no outdoor bit there. It was all indoor. The fairground, the rave, everything. It was a really good event. And it's funny because you think that you'd have the about something like that. You're going to give these flyers out for these people, and basically they've had you over. They've got you doing a load of donkey work for nothing. They didn't even have your name down on the door. But that was my first sort of look behind the curtain, almost, so to speak. You know, it was when we walked in that house and I saw them buzzing in that office, running around, all being important. You know, I just remember it was the days of like long curtains, ponytails. I remember they all had baggy clothes on. There was just boxes and hustle bustle and a fax machine going off. And maybe I've painted it as a different story in my head over the years, but I remember it just being this place where I was like, this looks sick. Imagine being friends with these lot. Imagine being around this. So, you know, even though it didn't turn out how we wanted to, I think that was what I would class as my first job in the scene. I was 16 years old. Yeah, it wasn't like I did that and went into loads of other jobs after. But that was the first time that I felt more than a raver. I saw a little bit more than what a raver would ordinarily see. And I was bitten by the bug, man. And, you know, it wasn't the first time I got bumped over the years. It wasn't the first time I gave out flyers on a promise or something similar. But listen, that's part of the game. That's part of the process of growing into this thing. And that's what, you listen, this is the thing that whittles out all the other people, and the ones that are true to it stuck around and stick around and flourish. So yeah, do I regret any of it? Not at all. It's a great story. It's a great memory. Would it have been the same if we'd have got in for free? Probably not, because it probably wouldn't have meant as much. And it was a little bit of a lesson, and it was a little bit of a, I don't know. It's never ever bothered me. It never bothered me on the night, and I've never thought back and thought, them piss takers. I just know how it works. And especially back then, that was part of the game, part of the hustle, and almost part of the charm, weirdly. So, big up the Pure organisation crew. Big up all the ravers that used to get down to the dance, 91, 2, 3, whatever events you went to. We will talk about some of the others in another episode. But for now, yeah, big up all the ravers that used to get down to dance 91 and 2 and 3 at the Brighton Centre. And big up the Pure organisation, guys. You do owe me 2 guest list one day. The chances are I'll probably know you lot now. If you're still about, I would definitely know you. And even if you're not about, I bet I would probably know you or know of you. So maybe I'll do a bit more research on this. And you owe me 2 guest list. All right. Listen, thank you for watching, everybody. That's chapter 3. Pure organisation, Dance 91 at the Brighton Centre. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. So chapter 4 is incoming. I'm not sure what it's going to be about yet. Maybe we'll talk about this. I got this out earlier. Look, do you remember that? The board game, Rave? Maybe we'll talk about that. But anyway, be lucky, everybody, yeah? Don't forget, subscribe. Peace and love.